Two men journey to the bars and restaurants of Scandinavia to find amazing beers, always with the same question.
Hey, what's on tap?
It's time to find out.
Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome to What's on Tap podcast. We are once again out and about.
You threw me off by letting me start.
You usually start.
I know.
I'm just co-host, your co-host and co-founder.
That's true.
Much
That's true.
higher in the hierarchy.
I really dropped the ball on that intro there.
So, hello and welcome to What's on Tap podcast, where we are once again out and about asking, hey, what's on tap?
Well, today we have two beers on tap. I believe they're both from Mikkeller, San Diego.
They are.
And we are at the Mikkeller pop-up Trädgård.
Which means garden.
Moriskan. Yeah. Is it called Moriskan?
What?
Yeah, Moriskans.
Moriskan, yes.
Moriskans, if you want to say it Swedish. Moriskans Trädgård.
But the origin word is Moor.
Yes.
M-O-O-R.
Well, the building is very Moorish looking,
Yes.
so I think that's where we get the name from.
Yes. So this is the second year that Moriskan has had a Mikkeller pop-up bar behind, in their backyard, basically.
Yeah. Well, actually, to put a little perspective on this, so Folkets Park, when I first moved here, was like this. Folkets Park means People's Park.
Yes.
And it's basically designed to be kind of an entertainment area for people.
The common people.
The common people, right. And so when I first moved here, there were like little rides, like amusement park rides, and there was this little car that ran on a rail that moved around a little course, and I think there was a Ferris wheel and all sorts of stuff. Well, that kind of went out of style, and no one really did those things anymore. So they tore it out, and ever since then, I think the park has really been trying to reestablish itself in some way. It hasn't really found its niche yet. So it's been trying a lot of different things. Currently, we have they took out the little petting zoo area with all the bunnies and chickens and guinea pigs and whatever the hell else was over there, goats and things. And now that's become a little cart where kids can pedal around a track. Now we have the miniature golf at the Ben & Jerry's ice cream stand. They've really expanded the playground area for children. We've got a little miniature skate park. They just opened up the Orangeria this year.
Yes.
And then, of course, we have this Mikkeller Trädgård's place for the second year, which is literally just the back bar area of this kind of nightclub / multi-use facility. So it's a really good use of just what would literally be dead space 90% of the year.
Yes, no, but the main use of this is actually a music stage where music is performed.
I have never seen music performed here.
I have seen music performed
because they
here.
have a bigger stage, and it's not like it's like much bigger than this, but they have a bit more of a music stage area on the other side of the of this building, actually.
Fair enough, but it did have that purpose. And you see, it's kind of like
it's a proscenium,
an amphitheater.
It is a very amphitheater style, yeah, for sure.
But it hasn't really been used for that in a while.
Yeah.
So I think this is actually a really good use of it.
I think it's a perfect use for it, because like I said, otherwise it would really just be a dead space.
Yes.
No one would really be doing much with it.
No.
They've had food trucks out here in the past, but those have all moved over to the Orangeria area. They have a herpetarium, which is not where you can get venereal disease checks, but actually it's a place where you can see turtles and lizards and iguanas and other animals of the reptile species. It's quite nice, I guess.
Yep. So this place, it is officially licensed by Mikkeller, but not official enough that if you bring your Mikkeller passport, you will not get a stamp here.
Which we officially have deemed this place bullshit then.
Because then it's not official, but it is allowed.
You're right. So apparently I can get a stamp from Mikkeller himself, and I can get a stamp from the web shop now.
But not from the Mikkeller pop-up garden.
But not from the pop-up garden that is here for 3 months a year.
Yeah. So a few things that are really good about this place. They've rotated one tap with Mikkeller San Diego Trädgård imperial stouts, like the coconut and the reserve. And we realized when we drank the reserve that this has never been served in Europe before. This is kind of rare. So they at one tap they rotate really rare stuff.
There's usually a lot of questions about, is this actually what it says it is? Because
it seems too rare.
Yeah.
But it was confirmed, like, yes, it is this rare thing. So one of the taps is really good. And the other thing I really like is they're taking COVID-19 very seriously. With there's a special app where you order and you put your table number and they bring the beer here. So there's less chaos around the bar. The bar still exists and you're not supposed to go there. And that means that there's only like one or two weirdos there.
Yeah.
While we're sitting here being safe.
Well, what's also nice is that it's also the only way you can really tell what's on tap on the bar, because they're not a registered untapped location. So you can't, if you go to the untapped and you're like, oh, let's just see what's pouring there, you would never know. It's just whatever people randomly check in.
But since you buy the beers from the app is the most accurate list of any list.
Super accurate, yeah.
It really forces them to be honest.
Yes, it does. So today we have two beers, both from Mikkeller San Diego.
Yes.
And the first one is Fruit Face.
It's a specific Fruit Face. It's Fruit Face with cranberry, pear, and ginger.
That is a very weird combination. And this is a sour, a Berliner Weiss.
Yes.
All right.
I've actually had a number of Fruit Faces.
What's the ABV on this, do you know?
5.8. Fruit Face.
That is weird.
So I've had like the blackcurrant lime zest, the mango coconut habanero, and now cranberry pear ginger.
I gotta tell you, this is a weird cross between fruit juice and toothpaste.
There are a lot of things I like about this.
I like the finish. The finish, the aftertaste is really cranberry. You really get that cranberry lingon kind of flavor in the aftertaste.
Yeah, the ginger is so slight, and it fits.
I think for me, the ginger gives this kind of wintergreen freshness to it.
Yeah.
Combined with the sweetness of the pear, that I think the initial flavor is extremely off-putting to me, but the aftertaste is just this really yummy cranberry flavor.
I get it.
But yeah, that upfront flavor is just so weird and off-putting to me. Because I hate this wintergreen flavor so much.
To me, it's really not, the initial flavor is not off-putting at all for me.
Well, it could be because, like, if you've ever had like root beer, and a lot of Swedes say that root beer tastes like toothpaste. It's because it has this slightly, what they call in the U.S., a wintergreen flavor, which is this minty, herbal kind of flavor to it.
I have had root beer.
Yeah.
And it tastes nothing like this. There's a Swedish bubble gum called the Jenka.
Yeah.
Which has the exact flavor of root beer. It's a particular ingredient or a flavor. I keep forgetting it.
Sarsaparilla?
Sarsaparilla.
Yeah, that's the root that it comes from.
Yes. That is exactly what the Swedish bubblegum Jenka, I don't know if it exists, but it's my childhood bubblegum.
And that has that wintergreen kind of flavor to it.
If this one tastes like wintergreen, then no. There are no similarities for me.
Okay.
The sarsaparilla is so specific.
No, it's very, very specific. But I guess for me, it's like, when I say wintergreen, it's not a flavor that Swedes understand. You have it here, and there's a name for it, but I always forget what it's called. And for me, this has that kind of weird, off minty flavor. Like in the U.S., it's so common. You can get it in like Lifesaver mint flavors. In fact, the wintergreen Lifesavers, when you chew on them in a dark light, they give off sparks in your mouth. It's really cool. But overall, it's not a flavor that I'm particularly fond of.
So there are two translations, and none of them mean anything to me.
Okay.
So
what are the two translations?
Vintergröna, which is the literal translation, and pyrola. Pyrola.
No, it's either one of those. It's another word that. means something. And it's probably one of those things where it's an indirect,
Probably.
association.
Okay, so chickweed wintergreen is Skogsstjärna, forest star.
Yeah.
So, maybe that's what this tastes like. I don't know. It's not sarsaparilla,
No.
and I like this. This is a 4 for me
This is a 3.5 for me.
because of that initial flavor.
Because the initial flavor is just so bizarre and incompatible with the cranberry. It just feels like I'm getting two separate experiences. I'm getting the upfront flavor experience and the back flavor experience, and the two don't work as a cohesive whole. They kind of are just very different.
But we both like the aftertaste.
Yes, the aftertaste was amazing.
Yep.
The only saving grace is this really great cranberry juice aftertaste.
I get it.
All right. So next up we have the
Shadows of Tomorrow.
Shadows of Tomorrow
From
which
San
is
Diego.
which is a dark lager or a schwarzbier.
Schwarzbier. Haha.
And you don't like dark lagers, or
No, I think dark lagers or Schwarzbiers are. It's a kind of boring category in between two tasty categories, like a brown ale. A brown ale is somewhere between a pale ale and a stout,
yeah.
and it fails at both.
But that's how I feel about Baltic porters.
I totally get that. Baltic porters have different quality, but they're not as good as an imperial stout.
They're not even as good as a porter, yeah.
No.
It's like a lager, it's not quite a lager, and it's a porter, it's not quite a porter, and it's not smoked enough to be a Rausch beer.
No.
So it just feels like on all three of those levels.
Yes. And this is the same thing. It tries to be... But when it comes to like wheat beers, like a Dunkelweizen, I really like. Because it combines the good things of a Hefeweizen with some darker, roastier flavors. That's a style I like. But Schwarzbier, it's not doing it for me. This one, sure, it's a little bit malty,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely got a smoky aftertaste to it.
It's not supposed to.
This one definitely has a smokiness to it in the end. You don't get that? Hey guys.
I'm not getting a smoky aftertaste from this.
We were going to sit on the sofa.
Okay.
So we get some support for our backs.
Good choice.
You're welcome to join us if you want.
We might after this. We just got joined by Thomas.
Thomas.
One time.
Thomas and Lena Lindhoff,
Yeah.
Malmo beer regulars.
Yes.
If you know beer, you probably have met them.
And Thomas has been on the show a couple times in the past. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
He used to be the chairman of the Swedish Beer Enthusiasts organization. That's
Yeah.
not the right thing. The Swedish Beer Promoters organization.
Yes.
A
But to
lobby.
get back to the beer.
Yes.
Yes.
It's too boring. I have nothing else to say about this than slightly malty, meh.
I mean, I guess the biggest plus is it's extremely drinkable. It's very easy to drink.
Yes.
I think you could have a couple of these and you wouldn't regret it, but it doesn't really give you anything exciting or anything that makes you go, ooh, Schwarzbiers are my new favorite thing to try.
You are correct. There's nothing off-putting about this,
Yeah.
but there's nothing fun about it.
No. I
I'm
have to
giving
agree.
it a plus for drinkability and lack of off-puttingishness. It's a 3.5.
I will also give it 3.5.
That's not a good rating.
But I think the overall rating was like 3.9 or something. So I think the average is around 3.9. But
Yeah.
I think that 3.5 for this is rather high. Especially with this style of beer. Like you said, it's not a style that either one of us are really excited about.
No.
And I think I've had better versions of a Schwarzbier before. And this one is just... It's very drinkable. And that's the best thing I can say about it. It's extremely drinkable.
Yes.
And so if I just had one on a hot day and it was cold, I would not be disappointed by it. But then that would probably get an extra 2.5 because it was a really hot day and I was sweating and it was really it's kind of thin and a little watery and it's just very, very easy to drink. But I don't think I wouldn't go out of my way to try it again.
No,
for sure.
And when it comes to this place, it deserves to exist, but some of their taps need to improve.
Oh, for sure.
But there's usually one amazing tap. Right now, it's a brandy barrel-aged Treblood,
which is an excellent beer.
It's a really good beer.
Yeah.
And we have 2 Mikkeller San Diego beers that are new to us, which is
also really good.
Applaudable.
Yeah.
And then the rest is actually quite common.
Well, I mean, they've got like some local Swedish beers as well. I know they usually have Hylia, and they usually have like an OO or a Stig Baguette or something like that on tap. And then they have their 4 standards, which is the Pale Ale, the Spontan, the Brown Ale usually, and then a lager of some sort. And those they have at every Mikkeller location. They just change the name. So it's either... So these are the Moriskan, or what's it called?
And it's actually based on the street, Norra Parkgatan.
Yeah, Norra Park, Spontan and Norra Park.
So right now they have Norra Parkgatan Pils and Vitt. They actually don't have the Spontan.
The Spontan's at the very bottom.
All right, they did.
Yeah, Spontan's at the very bottom.
They moved that to...
Yeah. But usually they have like a Vitt, and they usually have a lager as well.
Yes. Sometimes a pale ale, sometimes a brown.
But you can get that at Victoriagata or the airport or Stefanagata or every Mikkeller place. They just changed the name.
They basically admitted that it's the same beer that they repurpose.
It's the same beer everywhere. Yeah. No, that's not. I've heard that admitted several times.
Yeah.
They just changed the name.
on tap, they are different beers.
Yeah. Every time it's there, but it's the same beer everywhere.
Yeah.
All right, so let's just wrap this up. You can find us online at what'sontappodcast.com. We are part Syndicate, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook,
Instagram. Soon, Amazon.
Yeah, we're waiting on Amazon approval, so maybe we'll have it out by this time. Who knows?
Amazon needs to approve us. Approve us now.
Otherwise, until next time.
Keep drinking, you dum-dums.
This podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearePodsyndicate.com.